The military general don't leave many Nigerians speechless. It's few days now. Everywhere don't catch trial as they finally realize that Nigeria is truly a terrorist country. A terrorist business, kidnapping business by the government. No be smart, you know. And this now don't lead to so many calls. So many Nigerian youths are now calling for division of Nigeria with immediate effect before it will be too late. No be smart, you know, as that one they happen. One papa wey warn us 5 years ago, they don't bring out in video come up again say this man warn of everything that is happening now. Nigeria is a stupid country with a stupid youth. Nigeria is a stupid country with a stupid leaders. Nigeria is also a stupid country with a stupid police, with a stupid military, with a stupid, everybody is stupid in Nigeria. Don't be me talk am before I go send a pump you for talk am. I go play the video may you watch because the nation is going gaga. The worst part is that nobody want to recall and stand by say let us stand here and fix this thing once and for all. Now only one die person that die you no go die 2 times. Choose to die once and let all your generation enjoy what you labor for. This is why the white man country is always better than us, because we want to keep our life. We don't want to give that life to sacrifice for our children, for their future. That is why our papa don't pass. Our papa don't pass. We go still pass without no changing anything. That's why I believe that this our brother said that Nigeria is a stupid country with a stupid youth, with a useless youth who leave their problem and be dragging nonsense on social media. Now let us go and watch all this whole video before we come back and continue.
Talking about Operation Safe Corridor. So many people have asked that question: why do we need to rehabilitate criminals? They all should be killed because they kill people. Well, that may make sense. But even in the Bible, we heard about the prodigal son. If there was not that window for the man to come back, would he have come back? So the point is that these are Nigerians, mostly. And it's important for us to give them that window to repent if they want to, rather than pushing them to the extreme to say, okay, it's either we kill you or you continue with the adventure. I think it's important for us to make people understand, especially in the National Assembly, because as we speak now, everything about safe corridor is being driven by defense headquarters. And there's no part of the budget that says, okay, you should run Operation Safe Corridor. So, honorable there, I'm only speaking to you to understand the importance of Safe Corridor, and that at some point we may come calling for your support.
Every one of us must rise up. The armed forces are not neutral. They collude. They collude. They collude with the armed bandits that kill people, kill Nigerians. They facilitate their movements. They cover them. If you are depending on the armed forces to stop the killings, you will all die one by one.
Some breaking news: Nigeria has just been attacked and at least 80 soldiers have been killed. And this attack was so big that the Nigerian Air Force had to carry out dozens of airstrikes against these attackers. Well, Nigeria just announced that last night in the state of Borno, Boko Haram and other terrorist groups launched a massive planned attack onto a military base in the state. Nigeria spoke on the attack and they said, quote, Nigeria's Air Force carried out precision strikes and allied Nigerian jets hit the retreating insurgents. However, it was not an easy fight, and they also said, quote, 4 soldiers were wounded and evacuated for treatment. Now, according to reports, the fighting went on for hours, and because of that, quite a lot of people died. Nigeria says that only 4 of their soldiers were killed. killed, and they managed to kill 80 of the insurgent terrorist attackers who were attacking this military base. But according to other reports, Boko Haram and the terrorists claim that they killed dozens of the Nigerian army's soldiers. And so we don't really know who to believe. There's two different sides of the story, but all we know is that a military base in the state of Borno in Nigeria came under attack last night and this morning. And it was a very planned surprise attack against the base. But luckily, the Nigerian army and the government managed to fight them back and push them back so that they couldn't get control of the base. They didn't do that though without taking some damage themselves. But from the reports we've got at the moment, the fighting has kind of stopped. However, this is nothing rare for Nigeria. Stuff like this happens all the time. So you can leave me a follow because I'm going to keep you up to date on all of the global news that you would not have heard about if you didn't leave me a follow for news like this.
Deadly, if not the most deadly place on the planet to be a Christian in Nigeria. That's not going to be able to sustain itself and continue without leading to a violent split up of the country. And I say those words cautiously, and I don't like saying those words, but I believe it to be the truth. If the Nigerian government now does not get on top of this situation of what's taking place in Nigeria, and has been now for a number of years, if they don't get on top of it and start protecting their people, particularly the Christian community and the moderate Muslim communities that are being attacked, if they don't stop this, this is going to lead to broader bloodshed throughout Nigeria and probably a splitting up of the country. And it's that dramatic.
I think I've now come to terms with the fact that for us to have proper rapid development in Nigeria, we need to separate, we need to divide. Let the Yoruba man go their way, let the Northerners go their way, let the Easterners go their way. This thing about one Nigeria is definitely not going to work, Chacha. Wallahi. You cannot have South Africans clowning us. You cannot have Ghanaians clowning us. And now you now have Namibians clowning us. One Nigeria is definitely not going to work. You cannot have a simple argument or a debate with anybody from Africa right now and you are able to win. You speak one, they tell you electricity. You speak two, they tell you security. You cannot travel 10 kilometers without writing your will. They speak about bad roads. They've gone as low as internet. We need to divide. This thing about one Nigeria is not going to work. Having one person as a president sitting in one place called Aso Rock, deciding the fate of 300 million people, especially when you know these are the least smartest people in the country, it's not going to work. Let us bring some kind of competition within these different regions, instead of having to depend and say everything has to do with the federal government. Ordinary electricity. I was thinking this thing about electricity in Ghana was a joke, but apparently these guys are having the best type of electricity like they were in Europe. In Nigeria, you can't even boast of 24 hours electricity. In year 2026, we need to divide, man. The only war we are winning right now in Nigeria is just jollof rice, and then maybe dirty December, club in alcohol. No, we can do better. This thing about what? Nigeria is 300 million people. When you look at these other countries I'm speaking about, you look at Ghana, they are not even up to 40 million. Namibia, 3 million on a good day. RCCG is bigger than Namibia. The Youth Ministry of Christ Embassy, they are bigger than Namibia. Yeah, these people, they are clowning us every single day. Nigerians cannot win one war. You cannot have a normal debate and say you are going to win. Everybody, they are clowning us. Giant of Africa, my foot. Let everybody go develop their region. Chase the Igbo man from the west. Go chase the Yoruba men from the east, let them go back. Everybody go make your region better. Go find the Igbo man in the north. Let everybody, but depending on one president to make these things happen is definitely not going to work. We are too many, we are too populated for this whole one Nigeria affair. It's not going to work. Let us divide. I am tired. I am tired. The bare minimum. We are not even speaking about healthcare. We are not even speaking about child mortality, education. Just the basics we cannot even be proud of. Not one Nigeria, my foot. Everybody go your way. Let's do a referendum. Let the people decide.
All right. Nigeria is a useless nation because her citizens are also useless. And because we, the citizens, we are very useless, that is why our leaders are also very useless. Because we have actually failed to actually hold our leaders accountable. And that is why the nation, the country, and her people are so useless. If not a useless nation, how can you have a nation when thousands of citizens are being killed in the pool of blood and no one is being held accountable, and then you say that we are not a useless nation and we are not useless citizens? How can you say that we are actually not a useless citizens and a useless nation, that somebody like Yahaya Bello, after squandering the collective resources of a state and the drama orchestrated by EFCC, and today Yahaya Bello is still in the leadership of this country, and you say that we are not a useless citizens and we are not a useless nation and we are not a useless people? How can you say that we are not a useless people and a useless nation, whereby public phone is being mixing and the story bamboo ate the money, snakes ate the money, and nothing happened, and you say that we are not a useless people? How can you say that we are not a useless people when money was found in a Ikoyi apartment in thousands of dollars, pounds and naira, and up to today the person that was allegedly actually taken to court for that case and that issue is now an ambassadorial nominee, and you say that Nigeria is not a useless country? How can you say Nigeria is not a useless country, whereby our military are being killed by Boko Haram and ISIS in the Sahel, and the same people are actually pardoned, fed with rice and chicken? Well, most of our sons and daughters has become orphans and widows, and yet the perpetrators of those crimes are now being fed with rice and chicken, and you say that this country is not a useless nation. How can you say that this country is not a useless nation, that somebody like Ganduje, that was actually videoed how he was collecting dollars and in bribe, and he actually led a political party for years in this country, and you say that this country is not a useless nation? How can you say that this country is not a useless nation when Imperial Wiki can actually have media chat, and his media chat will determine what happened in our judiciary, and everybody will turn a blind eye to it, and you say we are not a useless nation? How can you say we are not a useless nation? Since 1999 till date, Makwa Jeba Lagos Road has not been finished for over 26 years, and everybody turned a blind eye to it. No accountability, and you say that we are not a useless nation. How can you say that we are not a useless nation? Only Lokoja Abuja Road, Obasanjo commissioned it in 1999. Up to today, the road that is not up to 200 kilometers has not been finished, and nobody is held accountable. And you say that Nigeria is not a useless nation. If you say that this country is not a useless nation, then one actually have to give me the definition of uselessness, because that is what I have seen. It's the same country when thousands of citizens are killed in the north, no protest, but there's a protest when people are killed in Iran, and you say the citizens of this country are not useless. In the same country, someone is saying last sentence to serve a jail time in Sokoto for talking on radio. Well, the bandits and the Fulani bandit will kill senior police officers, wear their uniforms to a peace party, and then nothing happened, and nobody is held responsible, and you say that this country is not a useless nation. Can someone give me the definition of what is useless? And until we all agree as a citizens that we are very, very useless, and we need to understand that we are useless, and wake up and start becoming useful to ourselves, to our country, to our children, and to our children unborn, then that will be the way forward. We will begin to think like useful people, begin to react like useful people, and until we begin to think like useful people, our leaders will never be useful. Our politicians will never be useful, because we have made them useless, because we ourselves, we are useless.
Yes, my wonderful people, welcome back. As I've watched that video, Nigeria is truly a useless nation with a useless youth, with a useless governance, with a useless elders, with a useless, everybody is useless, because I don't see the reason why we can't change things for good. Everybody is busy chasing money, that when you get the money, the fruition, the cost of living, everything, take it away from you, you go back again. Are you not mumu? A country where a youth will gather to change things, another youth will gather, collect money to fight the youth that want to change things, and the youth that want to change things will retreat, say, and who fight today will fight another day. A country where somebody will buy you in toll gate is your president today, sharing you rice and sewing machine. Go and work and eat rice. Don't talk about what is happening in your country. And everyone feel, yes, it's okay. And I mean, who want die for them? Me, I no go die you. Everybody say they no go die you. Nobody want die you. People wey die for toll gate today for Lagos, they go think say the country don better. Aye, they no know say the country even worse pass wetin dem dey cry for. Abeg share this video, drop your own opinion for inside comment section. Sometimes, if it's not that I am a Pan-African and a true African, I would have decided to live my whole life in Europe and forget anything concerning Nigeria. If it is not that I love my home, where I was born, where I come from, I would have decided to take my family, move to any African country that is working. But I find out that this problem that is happening in Nigeria also happening in other parts of Africa. So it's very difficult for me to take that decision. Then I said, I don't want to be in Nigeria again. No, I'm a Biafra. They catch me as Nnamdi Kanu and put him in the prison, while the criminals are free. That's where Nigeria army is talking. So you can see the Nigeria is gone. It's heartbroken. Me waking up every day hearing that I'm in Nigeria, it's heartbroken to me. Very, 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 very irritating. Guys, share this video. Drop your own opinion in the comment section.